Hi fellow 90K-acres and welcome back to the channel. So today I'll try to teach you some basic strategies in this game, what to do and what not to do as a beginner. Also, I'm going to talk about the heavy cavalry and its role in battle and how important the heavy cavalry is in the battlefield. Alright, first things first. As a beginner, always remember this: four corners, or gates, or entry points, or doors, or whatever they may call it, left side, right side, etc., etc. So to not be the cause of your team's demise, and remember, if they get mad at you, it's because you made something to get mad at you. So be careful and try not to make any mistakes. And also, there's actually an indicator for this, to avoid making a mistake when sending your army inside the field. So what not to do? As a beginner, first is, don't send all your army inside the battlefield since there's a limit of 5 armies inside the battlefield. And also there's a number of limits on how much you can send in that battle. So what you can do as a beginner? Well, first of is listen to your commander, and don't send your army inside unless you're told to, or if you're eager to send your army in, then ask your commander first if you can send your army in. And overall, if you're a beginner, try to learn things and be observant. And another tips for beginner and alike is, no matter how good or bad the decision of the commander is, if the enemy is too powerful, then it's nobody's fault, it's not you, or your commander's, but simply because your enemy is too powerful for you to do anything or counter anything, and that's how one-sided this game can be. So the heavy cavalry and its role in battle. So at max level, the cavalry soldier's HP can reach up to 781 without the exclusive stats. And normally, the average max HP of the heavy cavalry soldier can reach to 900 max HP, and they can last very long in battle. That, and also, they can be very expensive depending on their cost coefficient at the time. Cost coefficient is adjusted by the game in every server. In other words, sometimes it can be lower, or sometimes it can be very, very high. The devs opted to do this to balance the game and to discourage players to stick with one meta gameplay, but for the coiners, well, they can still win the game one-sidedly if they wanted to, even with or without the cost coefficient mechanic. So moving on, if you want to play the heavy cavalry, then your role is always to be on the front line, especially in the offense, to break enemy formation, most especially the one-tile formation. And of course, there's always the tendency of you getting wiped out, so be sure to reserve as much resource as needed for you to revive your soldiers then. So the heavy cavalry soldier is always the hardest to counter by the enemy, but that's because no one have dared yet to defend from it, maybe because they don't know how. But maybe because many have tried but suffered more losses than they shouldn't have, that's mostly because they countered it with tank soldiers or another cavalry. But what they should do is to counter it with the spearmen, the usual counter of the cavalry soldiers, to maximize the damage, and eventually winning the tile and prevent the enemy to go any further. But this move will most likely to enter a clash, hence the enemy will want to destroy your spearmen by sending archers and also to save their cavalry soldiers. So knowing your weakness is a good thing. So 1. Your heavy cavalry is weak against spearmen, and 2. It's also weak to archers, especially archers with anti-tank exclusive equipment build. So to improve your heavy cavalry survival from this weakness, you need the right item from your exclusive equipment. In other words, you need a certain builds. So this is the basic stats of the heavy cavalry's exclusive equipment. And there's already some good item or stats in it, but it's still lacking. If you want to be a successful vanguard for your team, then I have a suggestion builds for you. So in this build, we have the Jade Pendant and Blood Rage Belt from our exclusive equipment. And for our merge equipment, we have the Rattan and Helm of Calmness. This build would be the new basic build for this soldier, and to be honest, they nerfed the heavy cavalry so much by removing certain equipment from its exclusive stats, like there's no more copper shield, iron, and whatnot unlike before. And also, to be honest, this build is only good to counter enemy archers and not the spearmen. So to counter the enemy spearmen and archers, then you need these build, but you won't have HP recovery anymore, and the Blood Rage Belt only offers 5% restore, and it's not enough to sustain your soldier. But having no Helm of Calmness or Gourd is not recommended for tanks. So if your heavy cavalry is as good as a pawn for sacrifice, then you're just wasting your time and effort playing this soldier, unless you really commit to it and rig your heavy cavalry. So this build will help your heavy cavalry soldiers to stick to their role, which is the vanguard, and the lamellar armor will ensure that your soldier will last long in battle. And the Helm of Calmness for tower pushing or for drawn-out fights like in castle sieges, and the pendant will save you some damage due to their shield and also protect you from stun or any skill or debuff from the enemy. And for the army flag, this is to add more obstacle and debuff to your enemy and also provides a buff to your side. So I think this build would be more ideal build for the heavy cavalry and might worth the time to play the heavy cavalry once more. So, for tactics, as a heavy cavalry, your main role in offense is to harass the enemy by taking tiles strategically and as quickly as possible. But the most tactics players use is the straight line tactics towards the enemy base, which in my opinion is weak tactics because if ever the defender will deploy their defense like this, then it would be difficult to break it or attack the base just by straight line. That's because the defender can attack your rear flank once you break past a certain blockage. And at the same time, the defender's remaining army can march towards your fortress and destroy it to ensure the safety of their ally and secure defense victory on that night. So the best tactics would be spread out then straight line and push towards the enemy base, while taking as many tiles as possible. This would be the best way to use your heavy cavalries as it provoke enemy defenders to defend their tiles. Then you can just send reinforcements to your heavy cavalries depending on their needs. That said, there's also the problem of unorganized team. Some members are late to send reinforcements and always no defense formation at all. Same to enemy attackers who casually use one straight line to capture enemy base. And I've never seen one very organized team in all my time playing this game, but most are very unorganized and just do what they want to do and not really a team player. But that's my experience in this game, but perhaps there's a team out there that take this game very seriously and are very organized. But anyways, that's it for this video, and subscribe already if you're not subscribed to my channel yet. And also, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.